Good afternoon, students. In the previous video we have studied acceptance sampling. So today we will discuss acceptance sampling plan. A sampling plan is basically a plan for acceptance sampling that precisely specifies the parameters of sampling process and the acceptance rejection criteria. Okay, so put it in simple word, a sampling plan basically helps us or gives us the criteria on the basis of which either we will accept any lot or we will reject any lot of product. Okay, so there are certain variables which are specified in each sampling plan, and these variables are basically, first is your lot size, which is indicated by the variable capital N, and the second variable is sample size, and we denote sample size by small n, and then there is another variable which is known as the acceptance number. This acceptance number basically tells us whether we will accept the lot or reject the lot. So whenever we are doing sampling, we will first take a lot which has, say, capital N number of items. Out of that lot we will select a small sample which has, say, N number of items. Then we will inspect all N number of items, and on the basis of the acceptance number we will decide whether we will accept that lot or reject that lot. So here you can see basically we have a lot. This is showing a lot of items which has, say, suppose it has 100 number of any product. That product can be anything. If we take bullets, then say these are the lot of 100 bullets, out of which we have selected a sample, and here we can see that this sample has 4 bullets. Now in every sampling we will inspect all the items which are there in the sample, and we will try to find out what are the number of defective. Now when we will find out the number of defective items, then we will match it with the acceptance number. If the number of defective is less than the acceptance number, then we will select the whole lot and we will pass it on to the consumers. But if the number of defective is greater than the acceptance number, then this lot is rejected and we will move to another lot. Now the sampling plans are basically of 3 types, and they are single sampling plan, double sampling plan and sequential sampling plan. So first we will discuss what is single sampling plan. So in single sampling plan, the acceptance or rejection of the lot is based on the result from a single sample. That is why it is called single sampling plan. Okay, so we will select only one sample and we will inspect that sample only, and on the basis of the result that we get from that sample we will decide whether the lot will be selected or rejected. Hence it has got its name single sampling plan. Now here you can see that in single sampling we have few variables. Those variables are lot size, which is denoted by capital N. Suppose here we have a lot size of 100 products. Say we have 100 products, and then out of that lot we will select a sample which is denoted by small n, and say that sample has 10 items. Okay, so our basic purpose is to inspect each of these 10 items which are there in the sample. Then the third variable that we have to decide is the acceptance number, which is denoted by C. Let us say that the acceptance number is 4. Now what we will do? We will inspect the whole sample and try to find out small d, which is the number of defective. Now when we will get the number of defective, we will see if the number of defective is less than 4, then what will happen? We will select the whole lot. But if the number of defective is greater than 4, then we will reject the whole lot. And again I have told you in the previous video also, if the number of defective is exactly 4, then also we will accept the whole sample. Okay, so this is what we basically do in single sample. Here also it is written that the acceptance or rejection of a lot is based on the result from a single sampling, and that is why it has got its name single sampling plan. Now there are certain conditions of single sampling plan, we have already discussed it, and they are: acceptance or rejection decision is made after drawing only one sample. Okay, so in single sampling only one sample is inspected, and on the basis of that only we have to take the decision whether to select the lot or reject the lot. Now second condition is, if the number of defective does not exceed the acceptance criteria, then the lot is accepted, or otherwise it is rejected. So next one is your double sampling plan. Now from the name itself we can find out, or we can clearly say that in this sampling plan we have to inspect two samples, and the final decision of acceptance of lot or rejection of lot is taken only when we have inspected both the samples. So let us see what is the whole mechanism of double sampling. See, here you can see the mechanism. First what we will do, we will have a lot of capital N size. Okay, then out of that lot of capital N we will take a sample of say N1 size. So the sample is taken of N1 size. Okay, now in this sample we will inspect each and every item, and after that we will find out the number of defective from that sample. If the number of defective, now here you have to note one thing, that in double sampling we take two numbers. This C1 is known as acceptance number, and this C2 is known as rejection number. So in double sampling you have to decide two numbers, acceptance number and rejection number. Now after inspecting first sample we get number of defective. If this number of defective is less than C1, then we will accept the whole lot, and if the number of defective is greater than C2, which is the rejection number, then we will reject the whole lot. But in some case it might happen that the number of defective lies between C1 and C2. Then in that case we will move to second sample, and we will take a second sample of N2 pieces. Then after that what we will do, we will again find out number of defective. Now here we will take the number of defective of first sample, in that we will add the number of defective that we have got in second sample, and we will get total defective over here, okay. Then for second stage we have to take only one number, that is acceptance number C3. If this total defective is less than C3, we will accept the lot. If this total defective is greater than C3, then we will reject the whole lot, and we will again go and select some new lot for inspection. So the last one is sequential sampling plan. In sequential sampling, it is written over here that sequential sampling plan is used when 3 or more samples of stated size are permitted, and when the decision on acceptance or rejection must be reached after a stated number of samples. So it is clear from here that in sequential sampling the final decision of acceptance or lot or rejection of lot is taken only when we have inspected n number of samples. Here you can see we have taken 5 samples before giving the final verdict of accepting the lot or rejecting the lot. In first we have taken sample of N1 size, we have taken acceptance number C1 and rejection number R1. If the number of defective in sample 1 is less than C1, we will accept the lot, but if the number of defective is greater than R1, we will reject the lot. But if the number of defective lies between C1 and R1, then what we will do, we will go to second sample, and so on the procedure will take place. So this is all for this lecture. In next lecture we will come up with some new topic on industrial management.